Hi, hello, how are you? Hey there. Okay, welcome to this week's Speed Art Saturday. Yeah. I know it's the first one in a very long time, and for that I am very sorry. Um, don't get me wrong, I've wanted to make and post and what have you, new videos and art stuff, and but since I used to do it a lot, I've actually moved a handful of times now. And with moving comes a lack of space. You're really hindered in, you know, how you can get your setup and whatnot. Um, Actually, my laptop was also on the fritz for the longest time and was kind of a pain in the neck. Uh, but, I mean, we've recently moved again, and I have an area now and a little setup, and it's great. I also am sorry about the lighting. I'm working on getting lamps and whatnot, and, I know the video isn't of the greatest quality. I have a Logitech Pro 9000 webcam I use, and it's actually propped up on the TV looking down at my desk, and it records everything upside down. So while I'm editing, I have to flip the video around later, which is fine and it works, but with the zooming and what have you, it deteriorates the overall quality, and I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I know a lot of people actually will use their phones with different mounts, or they get a tripod. I actually have a digital point and shoot, but I don't have like any way of holding it up to see the artwork, if that makes sense. I mean, the webcam's easy because it can just sit right on the TV and it's no hassle. So that's great. Um, anyways, maybe I should talk more about the actual piece. Um, so this drawing is of a cute little Jolteon girl, and I'm actually really happy with how it came out, and it's super cute. I am just dead in love with it. I'm so glad it came out so awesome. It's actually the sketchbook cover. Yeah. Which, I got this sketchbook for Christmas from my boyfriend's sister, and I felt bad until now for not using it. It's just been sitting in a drawer, because there's been a couple other sketchbooks I've been working on, so it was a little neglected. But since I've decided to do videos and art stuff and what have you a lot more regularly now, there's no reason I shouldn't use it. So it's being used. Yeah, serving its purpose. For those of you who are curious, the initial sketch was done with a rose Prismacolor Col-Erase pencil, which the cover is made of Bristol Board, so it was actually really nice to work with. It was nice and smooth, and I don't know, I really liked it. I also have a blue Col-Erase. I never really use them a whole lot, until just recently. I went and picked some up and was playing with them after watching a lot of videos by Torian or Juicy Ink here on YouTube. Also Danica Sills. They do a lot of watercolor pieces. I've been on a watercolor kick lately, and they both use these Col-Erase pencils. So I thought that would be really nice to play around with. It wouldn't be as harsh as graphite, you know. The list goes on. Anyways, yeah, I cleaned up the sketch. I have this nifty little, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's one of the clicky little Pentel Clic erasers. Oh, it's so nice. Don't get me wrong, I also have larger art erasers, but these small ones, they're really nifty. They're not really a necessity, but they're really nice to have. And to lay down most of the color, I used markers, which I'm not fortunate enough to have the fancy, expensive alcohol-based, you know, Copics and things of that nature. So I have water-based markers. I gotta be pretty careful to not let them just completely eat and obliterate whatever paper I'm working on. But they're really nice. I actually really like them. My favorites you'll see me use are the Tombow Dual Brush Pens. I'm pretty sure almost every single one of my previous videos I have used these Tombow markers, and they're so great. Oh, the other smaller markers you'll see me use are just Crayola Super-tips. I found a pack of 50 for like $7. Super nice. I use them mostly for like my planner and stuff anyways, so I don't do a whole lot of art stuff with them since I have the super nice Tombows. But most of the coloring, and also the absolute longest part of doing this piece, was with colored pencils. And like I said, I've been on a watercolor kick lately, so going back to marker and colored pencil were a little weird for me, but I quickly adjusted. That's, you know, my homey little comfort zone. And don't get me wrong or anything, just like the markers, I don't have fancy pencils. I have a couple, you know, Prismacolors and Faber-Castells, and they were just open stock, so I only have a few of them. But the majority of the colored pencils I have and use are super cheap. They're actually Prang and Crayola, which, on top of being super cheap brands, they're also super old. They were my dad's colored pencils, and he used to use them for dragons and mermaids and unicorns and fairies and what have you way back in the day. He used to draw a lot when I was a kid. I used these pencils all the time when I was like 9 or 10. So, but he gave them all to me. Let's see, I want to say 2012. And I mean, he's kind of a hoarder for keeping them all those years, but I'm also kind of a hoarder for keeping them all of these past years. But I mean, I don't know, I use them all a lot. They're not just sitting around taking up space. So I'm justifying being a hoarder. I'm a terrible person for life advice, obviously. But I mean, yeah. later, actually, I use a black Prismacolor and a white Prismacolor, the Premier pencils. And I mean, for a while, I've watched a lot of art videos and wondered to myself, like, is it really worth it? Like, why do these people spend so much money on colored pencils? But after using a few of the nice ones, oh, let me tell you, it is a world of difference. After, working with these super cheap ones a lot, to just how much more easily they blend and they lay down color, and I would definitely invest in better pencils. But I mean, also, it's give or take, because I suppose if you're able to make good art that you're happy with super cheap supplies, go you. Because I feel like if you get used to using the super expensive, super nice ones all the time, you'll be a little spoiled. And I honestly think, well, that's why the cheap supply challenges are such a big trend, because people that are used to like handling Copics all the time, which those run like $6 per marker, are using like kids washable Crayola markers and trying to make the same like grade of art, which, I mean, it's possible, but if you're really spoiled on the good stuff, it's very improbable for you. But if you're really good at the like cheap stuff from the start, I feel like it'd be better. I don't know. It's an experience thing, I guess. Also, for the line art later, I use a Prismacolor brush marker for the eyelashes, and the rest of it is all done with a Sakura Pigma Sensei. Oops. I dropped it while reading it, but it's the 0.6 millimeter pigment ink liner. There we go. Sorry. And then I also use a white Signo Uni-ball pen, which, again, I've used the Sakura Jelly Roll a lot, and it's so opaque and nice and a world of difference, but at the same time, it is broad. So if you want finer lines, I believe the Sakura Jelly Roll is the way to go. But everybody has their preferences. There's no right or wrong way. There's just general, this works for me, so try it for yourself kind of thing, which I think is nice. I don't know. And then at the very end, you'll see me actually put in a background with chalk pastels. I take the pieces of chalk and a palette knife and scrape little bits of chalk onto the paper, and then smudge it in with a piece of paper towel. And it really it brightens up the entire piece as a whole, since I used a lot of bright colors, and but it's a lot softer than if I were to like do the background with marker and colored pencils like I did the character. Like, it helps divide that still, so that's really nice. Yeah. Also, I'm sorry this is being posted kind of late in the day. I meant to post it a lot earlier, but my laptop decided to make different plans. And by that I mean I had everything all edited and saved and ready to post, and last minute this morning my computer decides to tell me that the finished video was not saved properly and the file doesn't exist and blah blah blah. And then I went to open my Sony Vegas to fix it and resave it, and just the entire thing froze and locked up, and oh, it was a doozy. I ended up having to close everything out, and the project itself wasn't saved, so I got to re-edit the entire video from the get. I think this is actually the third or fourth time I've done the voiceover, so I apologize if I'm rambling for a bit. Anyways, here it is. Technically it is still Saturday, so happy Speed Art Saturday. Thank you for watching. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I actually made a Patreon. You can come support me. It'll be fantastic. I'm working on a shop, and just, all my wildest dreams are coming true. Ideally, I'd like to get to a point where I could do art stuff like this just all the time and constantly make videos, and it will be great. So I'm working towards that goal. Thank you for helping me kind of achieve that goal.